Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about a change that the Washington Commanders offense will likely make this week going up against the New York Giants. I'll also give you guys the first injury report of the week, so if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm less than 500 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. I know someone who's watching isn't subscribed, so please go ahead and do me a favor and subscribe and hit that like button and that notification bell. And sorry if you guys hear some background noise. There's a lot of noise going on my dorm, but let's get started with this. So Trai Turner was not at practice this week, and we did see he got hurt during the game, and then Saahdiq Charles went in for him, and I believe Trai Turner went back in the game, but did not practice this week. They said they're going to undergo some tests, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be a long-term issue, but it's an issue that he probably won't play this week, or there's definitely a chance he doesn't play this week. So then you have to think of a replacement. One, could it be Saahdiq Charles? That's like the easiest one. Just plug and play, put him in there. Number two, could it be Wes Schweitzer, who's coming back from that concussion that he was out for what, like 8 weeks? And you know, I think they activated him, or he has a chance to come back soon. Or three, you could put Cosmi at right guard. That is definitely a scenario that could happen for the Washington Commanders. They have three possibilities, actually four. If Trai Turner is healthy, then that's the fourth. You put him in there and he will play. But Cosmi at guard could be interesting. Him and Lucas have been rotating at right tackle kind of the last 3 weeks. Cosmi's a much better run blocker than Lucas, and Lucas is a solid pass blocker. Has been getting beat at times, but he's a very good backup to have. I don't know as a starter, but he's a good backup to have. And the reason Cosmi hasn't started over him is because Cosmi's been dealing with that injury. He was, I don't think they ever put him on IR, but he was out for a few games. And then once he was like able to come back, he was active for the games, but only as an emergency player. And that lasted a couple weeks. And then after that, the next and kind of the last 3 to 4 weeks, he's been in as, he's gone in and out of the lineup at times. He still isn't fully healthy. So I think if Cosmi is fully healthy, he's back at right tackle, but he still isn't fully healthy. His hand, I'll talk about that later, but his hand doesn't have full movement. So at tackle, you're not able to really play at a super high level. Doing that at guard, it might be, I'm not an offensive line expert or anything, but it might be a little bit easier to play at guard with a little bit less mobility in your hand. We'll see what happens there with Cosmi, but today they switched Cosmi inside, so he was at right guard today, and Lucas was at right tackle, and Sam Cosmi said he'd play guard on Sunday if Trai Turner's out. So maybe that's their scenario, and it would honestly be interesting to see him at guard. Put Sam Cosmi in at guard, see how he does. If he doesn't look good, okay, it is what it is. Move Saahdiq Charles back there. But if he looks great, then you have a really good guard for the future. And yeah, you don't have to replace him when Turner comes back. You can just keep him at right guard. Or let's say Cosmi plays at right guard. He's solid, not elite though. Then maybe move him back to right tackle and keep Trai Turner at right guard, or move what. There's so many different scenarios that could happen right now. Let's go through some of the tweets. Sorry, it's going to load a little bit. But yeah, definitely an interesting situation. I don't think this is like game changing by any means, but a lot of people have kind of been interested by the possibility of Sam Cosmi playing right guard. So that's definitely something to consider. And this is what Kimes said. Cosmi will work at right guard this week. Would play if Turner can't. Cornelius Lucas has done a nice job at right tackle. Cosmi has been excellent as a run blocker in limited snaps. Still only full use of 3 fingers on his left hand. So that does give a little bit more clarity on why they've kind of been having him in and out, because he's not fully healthy. So I really like, and I like this comment here. So saying that, okay, that's good that Cosmi has been hurt and not just benched. We knew he was hurt, but we didn't know if he was fully healthy at this point, and he isn't. I don't know when that will be, but it's been probably, 8 weeks since that injury happened, maybe a little bit more. So should be hopefully good to go at some point soon. But like what I've seen from him, he's looked pretty solid. Like his blocking, run blocking's been good, and pass blocking's been solid. And for only having use of 3 fingers, like that's a pretty good job. So it's gonna be interesting. I hope he can just be fully healthy so we can see what he can do, because the jury is still out on Cosmi. Like when he's healthy, he's a solid tackle, but he struggled with injuries last year. Like I think there's a hip, a knee or ankle injury, and this year you got the hand injury. So you want to see what you have in him, because this offseason they're going to need to add a guard or tackle. If Cosmi works out at tackle, that's great. If he doesn't work out at tackle but he works out at guard, that's great. But the 2 guards they have, they've been okay. Norwell has been okay for most of the season. Turner started out terribly, but now he's been solid. He's been maybe even better than Norwell. But those guys aren't like your guards of the future. Those guys are placeholders. Maybe a year, maybe one of those you could re-sign for another year and you're fine with. But you have to get at least another guy in the room as a starter, whether that's a rookie, an early pick. I don't really want to spend a first-round pick on a guard, but maybe a second or third. Or you sign a free agent. You sign a free agent for a decent amount, not a crazy amount, but a guy that can come in and start at a pretty high level for you. And maybe just coming off his rookie deal. So maybe he's 25, 26 years old, still relatively young. That is something they could do in the future. Because the only guys I really feel like are set on this team in terms of, okay, they're going to be here for more than just this year, and they'll be here for another couple years, is Charles Leno, who's been solid at left tackle, Chase Roulier, who's at center. But honestly, that's not even like he is going to be on the roster, but like he's been the last 2 years dealt with that injury. So they might try to draft a center or something just as a backup and maybe a developmental guy. Those are the only 2. Cosmi, I feel like honestly he is here for the future, but we just don't know the spot, if it's right guard or right tackle, because he is very, very talented, and I think he deserves to be a starting offensive lineman in this league. I think he's got really, really good potential. At times last year, he was elite as a run blocker and solid as a pass blocker. So interesting there. So we got some injury news. Benjamin St-Juste still out with that ankle injury today. We'll see if it gets better. Probably, starting off Wednesday like that, it's not a good sign for Sunday, but there's still time. It's really Friday. If he's a DNP on Friday, he's not playing, obviously. And it is unfortunate, but we are playing the New York Giants, and they're not a terrible team. They got a 7-4 record, but the receivers are not good. Their best receiver is Darius Slayton. Kendall Fuller can lock down Darius Slayton. Even Christian Holmes can. He's just fast. And then some of those other guys on their team, anyone can lock up. So it's okay if St-Juste misses this game and is back after the bye. And then Dax Milne's still out with the foot injury. Not a huge deal. Not a huge deal, but would be nice to have him back. Would be nice to have him back for sure. And then Chase Young, limited with the knee injury. Gibson, limited with a foot. Tyler Larsen back, and Logan Thomas rib. Larsen and Thomas have been kind of dealing with these injuries for at least a couple weeks now, so no concern about those guys. Those guys are going to be good to go. Chase Young, who knows? I have zero clue. I have zero clue when he's coming back, because every single week it's like, okay, he's coming back. The reporters, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter are saying he's back. Like, I saw a notification when I woke up today from Adam Schefter. He made a quick video on Twitter talking about this could be the week Chase Young comes back. I didn't even click on the video. I might later, but I don't know. It's just been too much of like, okay, he's probably going to play, and then he doesn't. So I have no idea. I have no idea. We will see if he plays or not, but I'm not counting on it. I am not counting on Chase Young playing this week. I'm just not. If he plays, great. If not, it is what it is. I'm hoping he's back, but who knows? And it is at MetLife, and the turf there, all the history with the turf there, so they might not want to bring him back. But Ron Rivera said that will not affect his decision at all. But if he's not back after the bye, there's really no reason to play him after, because I don't know. If he's not ready for the Giants game after the bye, then I don't think he's ever going to be ready, honestly. But they had to think he was going to be ready if, 5 weeks ago, they designated him to return from the PUP list. They had to think they probably thought he was ready in 3 weeks. He wasn't. Didn't come back in 4, not in 5. So we'll see if he comes back this week. Honestly, I have no idea. But yeah, it is what it is. That's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed that injury update / kind of insight on the Sam Cosmi news. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.